We're at 7:03. All right, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Justin, you want to lead us off?
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, so good evening. I'd like to share a few updates as we close out the school year. This has been a meaningful season of recognition across our district. Tonight we honored exemplary alumni and employees, including Noveline Beltram, Carol Delage, and Rita Rohr. We also recently celebrated our students with sports awards, music awards, as well as scholarship and award night. We'll soon be celebrating our seniors, and I want to offer my congratulations to the class of 2026. Your perseverance, growth has been remarkable to witness, and I want to recognize our dedicated staff whose commitment to Thompson students never wavers and who deserve our deepest gratitude as they close out another year of exceptional work. I'm especially proud to congratulate Superintendent Smith on receiving the CAPS President Award, a well-deserved recognition. The honor reflects not only Superintendent Smith's professional excellence, but also her deep dedication to students, families, and staff of Thompson Public Schools. The Board of Education is fortunate to have her leadership, and we celebrate the achievements on behalf of our entire community. With the fiscal year drawing to a close, the board continues to monitor our financial position carefully, and remain committed to responsible stewardship of taxpayer dollars while meeting our obligations to students and staff. I want to thank Superintendent Smith, Mr. Steglitz, and their team for their diligent work managing a challenging budget year. I also want to note the ongoing collaboration among board chairs across our region. Over the past several months, the Quiet Corner BOE chairs have been working together on shared advocacy priorities, including the ECS formula reform, special education funding, and the unique challenges facing small rural districts. This kind of peer collaboration strengthens our collective voice at the state level, and I'm proud of the relationships we've built across town lines. I look forward to seeing the work continue into the next school year. As we head into summer, I encourage families and community members to stay connected. As always, I'm grateful to serve this community and to work alongside such a dedicated board, administrative team, and school community. Thank you. We'll start with citizens' comments. We'll start in the room. Going once, go twice. Nothing sold. All right, citizens' comments online. Going once, going twice. All right, gonna move on to our student liaison report.
All right, good evening. I'll try and keep it brief, but there's a lot going on. Two of our most notable things are, of course, the graduation on the 12th, and then, of course, the last day of school on the 17th. I just wanted to put in a couple little highlights on the car cruise that we hosted up at the high school. The committee raised $4,200 to the local fire department. It was a huge success from what I've heard. Along with that, the Harlem Wizards game that took place up at the high school, that was a really unique kind of experience for the community to get involved. It was an amazing turnout from what I could see, and it just really showed how much our community can come together for the school and just for such a great cause. A spotlight on the music department. They had an exceptional spring season, as well as a whole school year. They had many performances. They combined the district-wide Take Flight concert, which featured all three of the schools, which was pretty unique. The concert band had a special performance alongside the American band from Providence. Let's see, they had the Great East Musical Festival, with which our choir earned a gold rating, and then the band received a silver rating after preparation that took months. It was the whole school year that they were preparing for that. They also got to conclude the year with the induction of new members into the Tri-M Music Honor Society, as well as Music Awards ceremony, which they combined this year. Overall, they had a successful year with their student musicians, demonstrating lasting value that music education brings to our educational experience and the well-being of Thompson students. Along with that, I have a small little highlight for our career and pathways up at the high school. This year has been a breaking point for all of us. We had so many unique experiences up there, and actually 31 out of our 38 seniors earned, 31 seniors earned a total of 38 career pathway certificates, which they will also be honored with their, are they called? Stoles. They have cute little pillars on there, as well as a pathway emblem on there for to note their amazing accomplishments that they participated in. 100% of our seniors completed a job shadow, which is a requirement to graduate, so they were right on track. 72% of them completed a career pathway, and 49% of them earned industry-recognized credentials. All participants in the electric boat interview secured employment, and they also achieved success in healthcare, manufacturing, welding, culinary, and other career-focused programs. The class of 2026 developed a clear post-secondary plan and pathway forward, reflecting their continued commitment of TMHS to preparing the students beyond high school. Next, we had, on May 21st, we had our senior capstone showcase, which was also a huge success. Every single senior had a pass, so what a great accomplishment for all of them. That is needed to graduate, and so they all put in some hard work. I watched some of their presentations as they gave us examples for us coming up to have to do that next year, and they were amazing to see. As you guys said, our scholarship and awards night was just held. We also just had the senior walk, which was amazing to see. It was so, unique to see how that's going to be me next year, and it's crazy to see that kind of experience, but and see how emotional people got seeing their siblings through the halls or seeing teachers that they realized made a lasting impact on them, so it was very unique for them to go through all 3 schools. We also just had our end of the year assembly, which student achievements were accomplished at contributions throughout the year were recognized. This assembly served an opportunity to celebrate our athletics, artistic abilities, academics, and our leadership successes throughout the year. We also just had a field day, which was pretty unique. We usually don't get field day up in the high school, so it was a fun day to just kind of step on out and have some fun, and every student got to participate in something there was art, there was music, there was painting rocks, there was, of course, athletics. It was just a wide variety for every student to be able to participate in. I won't go over all of our sports, but our sports had a great season. As much as the records might not reflect that, we had a lot of team bonding and just building up for the next seasons to come. Our freshmen we have some very athletic freshmen, and so to be able to build our teams up to prepare ourselves for the next couple of years, it'll be really great, and we'll be able to hit some good records next year because we started on that track this year. I'd also just like to read this little write-up I wrote to thank you guys as our board members. Thank you guys for your unwavering commitment to our staff, students, and families of Thompson. Much of your work happens behind the scenes, and the impact of your dedication can be seen every single day in our classrooms, on our stages, on our athletic fields, and throughout our community. Serving on the Board of Education requires countless hours of thoughtful discussion, careful decision-making, and genuine commitment to ensuring that our students have the opportunity to succeed. The choices you guys make help shape not only our schools, but the future of our town. As students, we often see the opportunities before us, such as our programs, activities, resources, and experiences, and those are the ones that help us learn and grow. While we might not always see the work that goes into making those opportunities possible, your guys' leadership, support, and vision helps us create an environment where students can discover their passions, challenge themselves, and prepare ourselves for the future. Thank you guys for believing in the value of education, for advocating for our school no matter what, and for investing in the success of every single student. Your service makes a lasting difference, and we're grateful for the time, energy, and care you guys dedicate to our community. On behalf of me, along with the students of Turtle Lot Memorial High School, thank you guys for all that you do. And there you guys have little gifts. And most of them are shirts that have the Turtle Lot logo on them, because you guys have made such a great impact to our high school. We wouldn't be able to do and have all the opportunities that we have without your guys' work that you put in every single day. And then just a couple pictures. I know everybody loves to see pictures from the high school. I also attached our final newsletter of the season. This is a compilation of the entire year. There are so many photos, little blurbs. We highlighted Chef, who will be retiring after this year, and so it's just a really good look at what the high school has accomplished and what we are continuing to do within the next year. I also handed you guys a clubs and opportunities pamphlet, which I, along with a couple other students, created to kind of showcase all that we offer up at the high school. This will actually be going into all new enrollments for the high school, so when they have to fill out their enrollment paperwork, they'll be getting a copy of this, as well as every single 8th grader had the opportunity to take one of these. We handed them out to every single one. Whether they kept it or not, that's up to them, but it goes through every single opportunity that they have up at the high school and when they're able to do it and how to join. So we're making strides up at the high school to make to get everybody involved one way or another, and we couldn't do that without your guys' help for us. So thank you. Any questions?
No, just a note of appreciation for your hard work and your enthusiasm this year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week.
Photo op time.
Taller than I am.
How many other people?
I know.
I can follow that.
I'm gonna start wearing my legs. All right,
That's good.
I will. Do you want me to do that now, Melinda?
It would be great if you could.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to move the retirement recognition from 9C and insert it, but we'll call it 5B.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Melinda, do you want to kick that off?
I do. It is my pleasure as superintendent of schools to honor Mary Ellen Jones in her retirement. If you don't know, Mary Ellen has been spearheading the Specialized Autism Project at Marriott Fisher for several years. Her contribution to students with disabilities has reached so many students. She also has been instrumental in bringing in hundreds of thousands of dollars through the school readiness grant. It was her job to write the grant and manage all the variety of aspects of that grant. She was also an avid member of the Northeast Early Childhood Council. She attended all of their meetings every year, and because of that, our school received NIAC accreditation many times over, and in the background, Mary Ellen was supporting all of that work. So we asked her brother, who was a former board member and former board chair, to present her today with her certificate and her flowers. And we are going to miss you desperately, Mary Ellen. I have learned so much working with you and can't thank you enough for everything you've done for the children of Thompson. So we're going to ask Bill if you can come up and present to your sister. And you might want to have a few words. I don't know.
No, Danielle promised I didn't have to speak.
Say anything. Joe.
Well, on behalf of the board, as a member, ex-member, old member. Old. Thank you for everything you've done, even though you ruined my birthday. On my 5th birthday, she was born. Ever since then, it's all about her.
Still complaining, still complaining.
So this is for you,
Thank
and
you.
this is for you.
Thank you very much.
You have to hug me.
Okay.
Take a better picture, Mary Ellen.
Battlefield.
Take it better.
That one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I mean, I would be too. All right, finance director, facility directors, updates.
We're pretty thin last time.
Let me find that.
Mr. Steglitz, you could go first. I know.
Hi, everybody. No change to the revised budget as usual. Year-to-date spending right now is at $18.6 million, 85.2% of the budget. We continue to rein that in compared to last year at 86.6. Year-to-date encumbrances, we continue to work there. We're at $3.2 million, 14.5% of budget, which is a little bit ahead of where we were at last year, which I was feeling pretty good about until I talked to Bill about electricity today. So I'll come back to that a little later. Total projected spending as of today, $21.7 million, 99.7% of the budget, a little bit ahead of where we were last year. Same two departments projected to be over budget. Pupil services had tightened up a little bit as we used the additional funds that we received from the state to help out there. So the deficit is currently at 315.6 thousand. Same drivers, and the other department is continues to be ESY. Any questions?
Justin?
You know, I think this one's more for Superintendent Smith. It says, you know, out-of-district placements are projected higher, RBT's spending's higher. Do we know the scale of, is it 5, 8, 10 students that changed to?
I know that there are 8 students that require an RBT.
Okay.
I don't know at what point in the school year the PPT team
Maybe.
recommended, but I can tell you that there's about 8 right now in district.
Okay. And then out-of-district placements, was that a significant amount of increase?
Of course, yes.
Enrollment as well?
If you look here, it says out-of-district placements are projected to be 552,000 over the budget that we put together last year.
Right. So that was either students that are in the district that needed to go out placement or students that enrolled in the district that needed out placement?
Correct.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. Mr. Birch?
Okay, so I've only got a couple of things here. The HVAC project is, I'm going to say we're well into the 90% point at this time. All of the base bid equipment has been installed. It's all running. We are down to third-party commissioning and air balancing and water balancing, which will commence as soon as school is out. The controls part of it is working well. There's still a few bugs that they're working out, but I'm confident that by the time this thing wraps up, you're going to have a good product here that's going to serve you well. The other thing is good news on the generator. The generator is fine. They came in, they did the evaluation on it, and they found there's no internal damage. They seem to be thinking that there was an issue with the way the block heaters were rotated, and it was getting a little bit of coolant into the cylinder heads when it sat for a long time, so they've got to do that work, but it is nothing like the kind of work we had expected to do. It's more general maintenance stuff. Beyond that, we are working extremely short-handed right now. My groundskeepers are both out. We're short-handed on custodians, and as always, it's a hard time getting subs, but we're getting through. We're finding bodies where we can.
Would you talk about the HVAC equipment in the middle school that was brought up at the last building committee meeting, and then that's going to segue into the drip discussion that's later on the agenda?
Okay, so I guess this is kind of an update on the HVAC project. We did pretty well. We got everything that we contracted for and a little bit more, and in the end, we were still a little more than 200,000 to the good. So we started looking at, possibly taking on some other tasks. We looked at replacing the boilers in the early childhood building, because that's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. That number came in way too high, so we couldn't do that. We looked at the elementary school cafeteria, which was another situation that's a matter of if and not when, and that also is way too high. We looked at doing something down in the older part of Mary Fisher Elementary, where like where the Bradley rooms are, down in that area. Again, we did not have the funds to accomplish that. The other project we looked at is the middle school office suite. Has not been touched since long before I got here. At this point, there's currently no fresh air exchange in there. There's air conditioning, and there's heat. And, you know, when it was built, they counted on the fact, that I've said this before, this was a negative pressure building, there were exhaust fans, and they counted on the fact that the windows leaked and the doors leaked, and that's how we got fresh air into the building. It was real technology, that's what they counted on. But we've changed the windows, and they don't leak anymore, or they don't leak as bad. So we looked at that project, and we got to the point where we're this close. So we got to the point where the number came in a little over 200. We thought that we could get it down to maybe 175, and then we'd be able to pull it off. But then young Billy behind me here came up in the middle of the week and says, "Oh, by the way, I've got a bill for $18,000 in fees."
That's not quite how it went.
Oh, it's pretty close. So that didn't work out. But then when the superintendent got back after April break, she realized that maybe she's got some drip money that we could infuse into this project, and that makes us good again so that we can get this done if you so desire.
Some of the projects that we were thinking about and discussing using that drip money are now on the bond. The fact that there's no air exchange in that office suite is not a good situation. So we do have the money. It is an allowable expense under DRIP. Makes a lot of sense to get one of those things that we weren't able to address through the building HVAC project completed. And so later on the agenda, I'll ask for your approval to spend the DRIP money. We did get the check, so we do have the money. We just need your approval to spend it for that project.
Any questions on the facility director's report?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Approval of minutes for the regular meeting on May 11th, 2026.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for May 11th.
Second. 4 seconds. Any discussion on the minutes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any of those who say no? Any abstentions?
I will abstain.
Same. There'll be 3 abstentions, myself, Matt, and Justin. We all were unavailable. Okay. Subcommittee update.
Finance subcommittee met, I don't know, it's a blur, last week, to discuss the, I think everybody was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to discuss the potential reductions to the budget for this year based on the Board of Finance's reductions to the Board of Education's budget. I don't think we came to any conclusive results on it. I think there's significant, well, on the committee itself, I think there are some suggestions on the subcommittee, but I think as a board as a whole, understanding where we're at and what's going on, I think there's still some resistance. We know we have to make some reductions. I'm not, and I know Melinda has made her best recommendations, and I don't fault her for any of the recommendations, but this year is going to suck, and that's my official words on where we're going with this. I don't think there's going to be any easy decisions coming up. We did request that the superintendent add risk, so you'll see, I think, in front of you, there is a letter to the Board of Ed from Superintendent Smith with the potential reductions as well as the risk involved in those. I think it's important that we all understand the risk that comes along with us making any of these reductions. There is also a second piece of paper in front of you that is a program worksheet. This is not this Superintendent Smith in no way, shape, or form is recommending this. This was at the demand of the Finance Subcommittee. that this be presented to us once again. I don't think anybody on the subcommittee is willing to make any of these decisions either when it comes to cuts in programs. But we need to understand what's ahead of us, and we need to make the best decisions we can for the district and for the students. So more to come on that.
Okay. Thank you, Justin.
We're going to have to schedule another finance subcommittee meeting to discuss in more depth where we're going to go with this. Either that or another budget workshop. That's up to the chair, I guess, at this point.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do. I don't necessarily know that it's up to 3 people to kind of decide where we can recommend, but it's going to be at the decision of the full board, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. Thank you, Justin.
Yep.
All right, superintendent report.
First item on the agenda is the employee child care proposal and approval. As you know, during my weekly briefs, I've been updating you on the potential of adding child care here for infants and toddlers for faculty and staff. The YMCA is the organization that we're hoping to partner with. They weren't really ready yet for tonight's meeting. They didn't have all the information at their disposal, so they asked that this be tabled. They are going to come back to us maybe for a special meeting just to talk about that item, but they are not here tonight. So we're going to move on to the CIRAC survey. And it wasn't really a CIRAC survey. It was a survey that was put together by a national organization. If you recall, this was the survey that went out in the winter time, had a lot of controversy associated with it. But the bottom line is, Danielle, I actually have that.
I have it.
You have it?
Yes.
I've asked Mike Irons, the director of CIRAC, and Emmeline and Jen is here. And they're going to go over the results in a very bird's eye view, high level. I have all of the results and a very comprehensive report for each school that the principals are using to develop their culture and climate surveys. So I'm going to turn it to you.
Okay. So I'm from CIRAC. I'm Jennifer Buckley. I'm joined with Emmeline Lulenda and Mark Irons. We're from CIRAC. So we're here to talk about the Search Institute, which is a nonprofit national research organization backed by more than 30 years of studying youth developmental assets. So they are centered on identifying youth strengths, supports, and developmental assets, right? So the A&B survey is what we did with Thompson, functions as a protective early warning sign. The more assets a student possesses, the less likely they are to engage in high-risk behaviors, and the more likely they are to achieve academic and personal success. So it equips school boards, like yourselves, with actionable, localized data to shift from a reactive stance to more of an intentional, supportive intervention. Thank you. I'm not going to be reading these 2 slides that are coming up next. I just handed out the handouts. They give you a very extensive list of these, but they are, the A&B survey focused heavily on the 40 developmental assets framework, and they're divided into external and internal assets. So this is the slide that tells you all about the external assets. They're categorized into 4 groups: support, empowerment, boundaries and expectations, and constructive use of time. So these are the relationship, boundaries, and safe spaces that families, schools, and communities provide for students. We can think of these external assets as supports we build around our middle schools and high school students. This is everything that adults can provide, like things like strong family support, clear rules, school rules, safe hallways, trusted adult relationships with teachers and staff. The next slide is your internal assets. These are your personal strengths. They are also categorized into 4 groups. That's commitment to learning, positive values, social competencies, and constructive use of time. So these are the personal values, social skills, and self-beliefs that students develop internally to navigate life and challenges, okay? We can think about these as their internal compasses, okay? And as the Board of Ed, you mainly have direct influence over these assets, right? So by intentionally designing the school climate, policies, leadership opportunities that foster student growth, it will fuel development of each student's internal assets. All right, next slide. So this is a chart of your participation rate. So it says that 56% of your middle school took the survey, but that is not representing the 5th graders removed. So if we remove those 5th graders, it leaves about 4 out of 5 middle schoolers made their voice being heard in this survey. So that is great. That represents such a high number of responses for your middle school. So that is great. The high school did okay. They had over 50%. So that is also provides a base for high school wellness interventions. All right, next slide will show a snapshot of your school's assets. All right, so the Search Institute combines the 21 through 40, so that is that bright blue and then the dark blue. So they consider them the thriving population. So for middle school, it was 61% of them together, and the high school was 49. So the thriving population shows that these students are growing up in an adequate and optimal environment, right? And then those with 11 through 20 assets are considered the vulnerable middle population. Those youth are structurally vulnerable and risk sliding into the higher risk tier without active adult engagement. And then you have that bright yellow, that is the 0 to 10. Those are a critical risk group, fewer adult relationships outside the home, and less participation in structured youth programs. This also happens as youth get older, right? They don't need their parents and their environments as much. So we're going to compare this to national averages. So both of your schools beat the national averages for severe risk. We got to go back one.
Sorry.
For severe risk, only 5% of your middle schoolers and 9% of the high schoolers fall into that critical risk of the 0 through 10 asset tier, compared to 15% nationally. So again, that's that yellow in the slide. So the middle school is kind of like a community success story, with over 61% reaching the adequate to optimal range with the 21 through 40 assets, and that's compared to 44% nationally. So that they're much higher in the middle school. So that's great. And then there's what's known as the asset bleed, which happens as students progress through adolescence and self-reported assets steadily decline from 6th grade to 12th grade, as you would expect, right? This just reinforces that 12% point in your drops isn't a failure in any way. It's more of a look at how high school experiences change structurally and socially, right? So there's definitely changes that happen between middle school and high school. The vulnerable high school, the 11 through 20 assets, 43 of these should be taken, 43% should be taken as a warning sign. It means your high school has an unusually dense controlled concentration of what they would call cusp students, teenagers who are hanging on by a thread but slowly might be slipping into those riskier categories faster than peers across the country. All right, next slide, please. So this slide just shows some of the developmental, some of the school-based assets in the high school and the middle school. So the high school is red and the middle school is black. So the lowest metric on this whole entire slide is Asset 7, Community Values Youth, where high school student scores dropped to 29% from 37, proving that less than 1/3 of older teens feel valued by outside community. Across both buildings, Asset 8, Youth as Resources, flatlines a bit at 37 in high school and 38 in middle school, indicating that nearly 2/3 of all students feel they are denied meaningful or active roles in their community. More than half of the students maintain a stable, steady net of 3 or more trusted adults and non-parents, which is great. Around half perceive their everyday school climate is actually caring, so that's great. As students move into high school, their awareness of clear rules drops slightly, yet their internal academic drive remains resilient, ticking from upwards till 73%. That's Asset 21. Okay. Next slide. So here shows some of the adolescent behavioral traits. So there's 40 of these. I'm only picking out a few of the ones that represent school and some of the good successes and some of the things that are watchables. So right here, eating disorders, middle school rate is 18, but more than doubles to 39 in high school. High school environment brings intense pressure and images around eating and body approvals. School truancy, this number is a bit high. Nearly 1/3 of your students have skipped school at least once in the last month. This impacts the bonding to school, Asset 24, and the caring school climate, Asset 5. Middle school, only 5% of students reporting parties where peers are drinking, but by high school, that skyrockets to 29, which is, the transition marks a sudden exposure to, circles involving parties and underage drinking. So this indicates a critical window to target substance prevention between 8th grade and 9th grade. Depression, similar trends above, the transition from high school to middle school. We got attempted suicide on there. While attempted suicide had the lowest overall percentage among the 5 measured traits listed on here, 14% in high school represents a serious public health concern. It's 1 in 7 students, so that's quite a bit. All right, next slide, please. So some asset building suggestions that you guys can do, easy things, support asset developments, continue to support your students in gaining more assets. They could be incorporated in classroom lessons, continue with a GLS, suicide prevention and mental health promotion efforts, provide staff with suicide prevention training, participate with a local prevention council that's hosted with TEAG, highlight mental health promotion and suicide prevention with the Donovan Taylor Hall. This has already been scheduled, so that is great. You can implement peer-to-peer mentoring. Students who were in the higher, the 34 to 40 assets with incoming 6th graders, so that was great what you did with the middle school, tell them all about the schools, that helped right there, it helps boost assets with the middle school students. You can do a morning asset minutes, use the first minutes of each day for intentional structured check-ins focused on internal assets, have messaging about emotional regulation, planning and decision making, about pretty much anything of the 40 developmental assets. And next slide is any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
Jen, thank you for doing that in a very condensed.
Yes. We should have talked about this for like an hour and a half. So I hope that this was a very high level look into the survey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mark, and Emmy, and Jen, thank you for everything you've done for us over the past 2 years with our suicide prevention grant. Emmy, I can't thank her enough. She has been amazing to work with. She keeps us on the straight and narrow. We've just, signed a contract with Donovan Taylor Hall. He's the gentleman that came at the beginning of the school year that had a profound impact at the high school. Next year, he will be with us for a full week in September, and then he returns to us in April for another full week. He'll be working district-wide with students, families, and staff. Thanks to grant funding from CRAC, from Title IV, and the balance of what we had in Stronger Connections, we were able to bring him for those 2 full weeks. So we're very excited to have him back here, and I know Maddie was very impressed with his presentation. She was one of our students that said, you got to get more people here at night, more families, reach out. So we're going to have a good planning opportunity when he comes in September to do a lot more work and more community outreach. So we're pretty excited about that, and it'll address some of those areas of weakness that we saw in the survey.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you, Melinda. I mean, absolute amazing district, been a great partnership. You welcomed Emmy right in. She feels like part of the team here, and that's kind of what the whole partnership for Hope and Healing is all about. We've had many staff members come here, and they're impressed by your young people and your caring adults. So if you start there, you have a great foundation, a great base to do amazing things. So we really appreciate the partnership. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, Matt.
I'd like to say something about, I forgot the exact which slide it was, but the students feeling that the community doesn't support them, and that kind of breaks my heart. It's obviously self-evident when budget season comes around, and it's really, I'm hoping that's what those answers were referring to, because as we sit here, we really feel like the community in large part has abandoned, or I'm not speaking for the whole board, but it feels like the community has abandoned us. It breaks my heart to know that the students see that so blatantly and directly too, because it's so unnecessary and sad. So I just want to say that out loud. I'm guessing everybody was thinking that too, and yeah, it's heartbreaking. And thanks for showing that as a graphic, and to Maddie sitting here, every month, and yeah, to know that you're cohorts see it too. It's good that they see it, and sad that it's there to see. So thank you.
Enrollment update.
Enrollment update. Okay, so our enrollment at Mary R. Fisher currently is 326 students. There's no change from last month. At Thompson Middle School, we have 273 students, no change from last month. And at Turtle Memorial High School, we actually have added a student, so we're at 165 for a total of 765 students. And Danette will do the June calculation for our next meeting, and that's where we'll start off moving all the grades ahead and starting off for the new school year. We won't report out over the summer months because we have students coming and going all summer long. Your first look at it will more than likely be August or early September. So, yeah.
With a lot of the,
Justin.
with a lot of the private, there's a lot of noise about a lot of the private Catholic schools and some of the other private elementary schools in the area kind of shifting directions. There's a lot of, I've heard in the community that there's a lot of parents that are displeased with some of the outside educations that they're getting at these facilities, so they're moving their students or considering moving their students over to public school. How do you see, are you seeing any data that supports an influx of students? I know we talked a couple of years ago when there was a school, it was like an elementary school that was closing or something, and we were worried about that, not worried about, but we were apprehensive about that influx of students into the elementary school. I think it was over the kindergarten classrooms at the time.
Yeah, kindergarten enrollment right now is at about 18 students per classroom. We can have some enrollment over the summer. Last summer, we had hardly anybody enroll over the summer. It had always been traditional that that's where we took our influx of students. But we didn't pick up any students hardly in the summer last year. Kindergarten classroom sizes may be high. They may grow higher than the 18. I haven't heard anything, but I've heard that same information, Justin, that you're sharing. If a parent is out there and they're listening, or somebody knows someone that's interested, give me a call. I'd be happy to give you a little tour of the school. In the summer it's hard because we're dodging custodial cleanup time, but give me a call and happy to talk about the school, the curriculum. All the curriculum documents are online, so you can take a look at that. We still have seats, obviously, and we would love to see more students come into Thompson Public Schools, so give us a call.
One more. Now that we're past that whole age flip-flop that happened a couple of years ago, right, where instead of it being December, I think we moved it to September, and then there was a waiver process if you had that.
So districts had the option this year by state legislatures to either offer a waiver or not. But by the time they came up with that idea, we were well into our waiver process. So we have, I think, about 14 students being tested for waivers. I don't know how many of those students will actually be accepted into the district, or have they already been accepted into the district. But next year, there is no more waiver per state law. So this is the only year, and I thought it was too late in the game to say to parents who requested a waiver, oh, sorry, we're not going to do that now. So there are districts in our region who have said they're not accepting a waiver. Thompson Public Schools, we decided to, it was too late. We decided to continue to accept them. It's a little taxing on the staff because they have to test all those students, but we felt it was the right thing to do.
Anybody else?
So now we're at the DRIP expenditure approval. Bill, do you know how much extra from what is left over in the HVAC project that you will need? We have $70,000, right, Bill?
It's about $68,000.
$68,000 in DRIP funds. What we want to do is direct that money toward the HVAC project. We have to spend it by June 30th.
I actually, I don't know if you saw my email.
I didn't.
I reached out to, this was actually last week when you and Bill and myself met. I reached out to OPM. They said that there's a little more, we have some room, it's not 6/30/26, that's the cutoff. So that gave us a little bit of breathing room. I think our first reporting on that money is in September.
Okay,
But I
good.
don't think that means that we have to even spend it by September. I think that the quote in the email, I wish I could remember the lady's name at OPM, but she said something to the effect of there's nothing in the legislative language that specifies a spend by date.
Okay.
I also did confirm, I went into the guidance and air quality and HVAC type work is specifically mentioned in the guidance
Oh, yeah,
as an
that I
eligible
knew,
cost.
yeah. So what's the timeline, Bill, if we would, can we get this work done this summer?
We have to.
Oh, right.
The HVAC grant needs to be closed out and finished by December 31st. And the reality is, we can't be doing that work with school in session. So it's gotta be done this summer. But we've talked with the architects and the contractors, and everybody seems to think that that is doable.
Okay. So we need to apply the 68,000 DRIP funds to the HVAC project. I guess that's what I'm putting forward.
Please refresh what DRIP stands for and what it's supposed to go. No, you don't have to, if you don't know offhand. That's okay.
Repair and improvement.
Yeah.
Thank you.
something
Perfect.
like that.
That's good. So it is for facilities.
Yes,
Yes.
only for facilities.
Only for facilities.
Yeah.
It has to be spent this year.
And I had to sign
Yep.
a testament that said, we're spending that money only on facilities.
Right, so, okay.
And this project is right in the wheelhouse of the guidance.
Perfect, thank you.
Justin?
The drip funds were originally for
The locker.
cafeteria and the lockers, right?
Correct.
That's when we were originally dropping those, and because of the bond, we now have a little bit of,
Wiggle.
we'll call it lateral movement of these.
At the
Repair
time, we knew the money was coming. We had all these issues in the kitchen.
Yep.
We had the locker situation, and so we really didn't define. I gave several ideas of what we could do with the money, but we hadn't defined it until Bill came up and said, hey, we really could get this finally fixed. And that air conditioning unit breaks down a lot at the middle school. They're constantly complaining about it. So it would be nice if we could get that repaired.
A couple more questions on that one. It includes controls tie-in to the
Yes.
EMS that
Yep.
we already have. Equipment's available,
Yep.
and is it a change order on the current contract, or is it a new contract?
No, it's not a new contract. It will be either a change order or a bulletin.
Okay. My only caution on that is, I don't know what's currently written in the contract for change order fees or bulletin fees, but I think because we're direct awarding it to the contractor that is currently here working the project, we gotta be careful about that piece of it, because it was originally RFP'd for bid, and now we're direct awarding work, public work, without a change order. If it's a bulletin, it's a bulletin. But I also don't wanna pay, I think we need the work, not trying, I just wanna make sure that we're not wasting fees on change order or bulletin fees. So.
Kristen?
Outside of my,
No, we'll have the architect look into it, but I have not seen any change order fees thus far
Okay.
for anything that's been done as a change order.
So was this part of the original design then, and we just didn't
it was
get?
one of the phases.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There
Just
was,
didn't make.
Okay.
yeah, there was an awful lot that didn't make the cut.
Right. So this was already in that original design, it just
Yeah.
didn't make the cut for phase one work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'll make a motion.
Hold on.
Oh, we don't do that here?
Well, she had you had her hand raised first.
Oh,
She
I
had-
just want to make sure that everything that we originally earmarked the drip money for, like, we're 100% sure that we're getting those through the bonds, right?
So we already ordered, because the Board of Ed approved me taking out of non-lapsing account $105,000. We had a little bit of a fiasco with the steamer, so we ordered a new steamer, got a better price on it, and then the serving line. So that has been ordered and actually is due to be installed like right after school lets out. So I'm pretty excited about that, and we spent that whole 105. I think Deb spent just about up to that amount of money that you approved. That was one of those variables. I was hopping on getting that bank of lockers done, but I was pleasantly surprised that that was also put into the bond, which left us the opportunity to do this work.
I just wanna make sure we're not gonna hear later that they're not getting done, and then they're like.
Well, that amount of money came directly to the Board of Ed. It wasn't one of these, you know, those kind of.
I'm sorry, Kristen, I didn't hear you. You're asking about DRIP?
Yes.
Yes, that was directly to the Board of Ed as a grant.
But I just wanted to make sure in terms of the bonding that the things that were earmarked, like they're a done, set deal.
Yeah, I've actually got the slide right here, and specifically the other items that we talked about with DRIP, I believe were covered by non-lapsing, but the lockers are actually right there on the slide.
Thank you.
There's
It's
50,000.
lockers, cameras, access control, the clocks.
Elementary school bathrooms.
Right.
TMHS gym floor refurbishment. Bill finally gets to replace that Kubota. Clocks, and then some concrete and sidewalk replacement. Those were the bond-related projects for the Board of Ed.
They didn't total, just to clarify, $2 million. It's $776,000.
Yeah, something like that.
Do we have a motion?
Can I make?
You can make the motion.
Okay, then I will make the motion to use the $68,000 along with the $200,000 that is available from the other monies, the HVAC monies, to upgrade the HVAC system in the middle school office suite.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion?
Is it 200 or 168? I have 168.
I believe, if I might.
Yep.
The motion from this committee, jump in, Bill, if you think I'm wrong, should just relate to the DRIP.
Correct.
The
Right, the
DRIP.
DRIP fund.
Okay, 68,000.
The remaining money is
Okay.
controlled by the building committee.
Okay.
To supplement the balance then.
Right,
Right.
to supplement. Okay, I'll change my motion to, along with to supplement the 200.
And Danielle, you're agreeable to that? Okay.
I am agreeable to
All
that.
right, so we have a motion, a second. We've had discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Okay. Fiscal year 27 budget reduction approval.
So I was under the assumption that tonight you were going to review the other recommendations. You wanted me to revise the reductions that I had brought forward. And then a workshop. So, and then a worksheet to go along with that. So I don't know where we're at with all of that, but.
Okay. Kathleen?
Okay, I was at that subcommittee because I am on the finance subcommittee, and I did make a motion, and I did make a recommendation, and I am going to make a recommendation to the board using the worksheet that you put forward, and they're not your recommendations, but your suggestions. All right, obviously, we would do the partnership with Killingly, saving $25,000, that's a no-brainer. And these are something that we can discuss, but I'm making a motion so that we can discuss them.
Okay.
One full-time sub to go for $27,000. So we've got 25, 27. A second shift custodian for 57. Now, I'm going to take the $216,000 that you outlined on your I rounded it to 216.
Mhm.
From special education. That gives me $325,000. I'm also going to take an additional $125,000. I suggest we take, not me personally, I suggest we take $125,000 to bring us to the 450 where we stand now, out of pupil services. And my rationale for doing this is that when we first presented the budget on 121, we had 5.7 million in special education. When we presented the budget to the Board of Finance, we had jumped that number to almost $6 million, an increase of 229,000. So when we first knew what our special education number was, we had estimated at 5.7 million. So under the state statutes, when you develop your budget, you develop it to your best knowledge. Our best knowledge when we developed our budget on 121 was 5.7 million in special education.
Okay.
So I am only going to take an additional 125 out of that 229 increase that we put in between the end of January and the beginning of March to get us to the 450. But I'm not going to suggest that we take a vote tonight, because I'm going to suggest we wait till after the next referendum, because we don't know what's going to happen. But that is my recommendation in the areas that you look at.
Kathleen made a motion. Is there a second?
Well, I didn't really make a motion, I guess. I said, this is my motion to the area to look at,
Okay.
and the only place that we really have to go. I don't believe that any of your other suggestions are reasonable.
They're out of necessity.
They're out of necessity, but they're really going to hurt.
They are.
Yeah, any place we go is going to hurt. But we are justified in bringing our pupil services back to the 5.7, because that was the best of our knowledge when we developed the budget. End of story.
Okay. We have Kathleen's Justin?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Nope.
No, the motion's on the table, right?
Right.
Okay, so we're waiting on a second.
We're waiting on a second. Okay. I'll make it, I'll second. All those in favor say aye. And that motion is dead. Okay. Justin?
I'll make a motion to table the FY '27 budget reduction approval to the July Board of Ed meeting. Yeah, July Board of Ed meeting.
Okay.
Hopefully by then
That
we'll
was
have
second.
Okay. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? That one passes.
Just a comment on discussion on that,
Yes,
if I
sir.
may.
Yep.
I think Kathleen's recommendations are reasonable,
Mhm.
but I think it's premature, and it shows that we had room in our budget to remove from, which we all know we had no room in our budget to remove from to begin with. So I'd like to see this actually go to referendum and either pass or fail again, and then us make some decisions from there, because our job as we sit around the table is to fiscally responsibly fund this building and the operation. And I truly think that not all, but some of the recommendations that have been put in front of us are not fiscally responsible recommendations. And that's not to the fault of the superintendent.
Right.
She has a budget that she's trying to meet, but I don't think they're fiscally responsible. So I think we need a little bit more public outcry to get there.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Capital projects.
Yes. So I know Bill, at the last Board of Finance meeting, did speak to the members of the Board of Finance, and they did agree that he is not going to go out for securing funding for the bond until January. That saved a considerable amount of money on the town side. However, there are several projects that are on our when they do open up that money, that we may want to consider kicking over to the building committee, but I can't do that or request that of the selectmen without your approval. So what I'm asking tonight is if you could give me approval to put those projects in the hands, with obviously guidance from Bill and Jason Gurham, our new facilities director, you know, in the hands of the building committee, because there's, they are gonna have to go out to bid. I think we can all agree that because this is a bonded funding source, that we wanna be completely open, transparent, and have, you know, like we always do whenever we do a project. But the building committee will need to assist us with preparing RFPs and those kinds of things.
Justin?
I'll make a motion.
Second that.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes.
Thank you. And then finally on my list, thank you, Chairman Bolte, for recognizing the Superintendent's Award, but I just wanted to publicly acknowledge and thank Stephen Rio, the Superintendent in Putnam, for nominating me for that award. He is the outgoing president of CAPS, the Superintendent's Association, and each year the outgoing president gets to award a superintendent for service, and he selected Thompson and me, so I want to thank him and the members of CAPS for that award. But more importantly, I want to thank the faculty and staff of Thompson Public Schools, because, you know, without them, there is no award. So thank you, everybody out there.
Okay. Old business, does anybody have any? New business, July Board of Ed meeting.
So we typically don't hold a July, the last couple of years, we haven't held a July board meeting. So I don't know what you want to do about that.
Well, I think we need at least a finance subcommittee meeting pending the
Budget passing?
Yep, the referendum results from June 24th. June 24th.
I also,
Yep, go ahead, Justin.
I also previously suggested and I know we are all booked solid over the summer, but I also suggested a workshop so we could get through some of these policies that we've been struggling with for years.
I know there was yearbooks handbooks trying to make sure that all the policies tie correctly back to.
Handbook cleanup in general.
Yes.
Well,
Kathleen?
yeah, if the referendum does, God forbid, doesn't pass, then we wouldn't need a subcommittee meeting, because we would just be, there would be a Board of Finance meeting that would cut more money, and I can't see any more of these being made. Until the referendum passes, and God forbid it doesn't pass this time, we're just spinning our wheels. Hopefully it passes, and then we have a subcommittee meeting.
Okay.
That's my recommendation. And as soon as it passes, we should have the subcommittee meeting.
Matt?
I have a question. If we have a subcommittee, let's say we have a subcommittee meeting on July 11th.
Okay.
Or whatever the Monday, if we have a subcommittee meeting in the first part of July, could we then schedule a special board meeting to?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the 6th or the 13th?
I just made.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Monday after the 4th is the 6th and the 13th.
Yeah.
Justin?
Yeah, I know we have a lot of policy that we've talked about that we have to get through. We've got handbooks to get through, and August is going to come
fast.
We do.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there's at least 4 or 5 policies.
Mr. Staglitz?
May I humbly suggest, given that you all come to the finance subcommittee meetings anyway, that perhaps we do a budget workshop
Okay.
So if you come to agreement, you could actually pass it.
That would be a great
That's
idea.
just
Yep.
a thought, because you could move more quickly, but
Okay.
you're right, Kathleen, if it passes, I would appreciate it if we move relatively quickly, because nuts and bolts,
Yeah.
it needs to get uploaded into Munis, so that we can get next year rolling, and a lot of the work that happens, a lot of work happens over the summer to get POs opened and beginning of school year supplies ordered and the like, so.
Because the year it failed 5 times, we didn't process POs until October, and teachers were buying school supplies out of their pocket.
Yeah.
No, because I wanted to coordinate. Sorry.
No, you're right.
Heather had asked if the finance subcommittee meeting been scheduled, and I said, I kind of wanted to coordinate with Matt, and see if we could knock out a couple-hour session and do like finance, policy, do a
Do it
couple
all at
hours.
once.
So-
Or, yes, no.
So our policy committee meeting is scheduled for August 7th. We can do it sooner if we want to get it closer, so we don't, not up against the gun of school starting, so we can arrange a meeting.
Because I think August is going to focus more on handbooks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
I can let you know when I'm available for those meetings.
Okay.
And, sorry.
Oh, sorry, Rick.
Clarity.
Yes, sir.
If there's a referendum going out and supposedly we gave up another $200,000, it's what you kind of have in this first paragraph.
Yeah.
What is on the line under the $200,000? Is it your original recommendations?
Yes, and I added to that.
Okay. And if it's different, it's kind of like what Kathleen was suggesting and/or the extra sheet that we look at.
Or anywhere.
Okay. So that's all of the supplies and stuff, the original things.
Substitutes.
And the substitutes, the adult ed, all the
That's-
special ed. And the only other things, there were the core science teacher. Is that beyond it or that's part of it?
That is part of that list that I gave you. I added that science teacher, I checked with guidance. We can manage through. We are gonna run AP Bio, so that's not a problem. So we can run, it minimizes the amount of electives that we can offer students. by
And I
not
apologize, so I
replacing-
think this entire list
Mhm.
is the 450,000.
It's
The
even more
total.
than that.
More.
Yeah.
546.
Yeah.
It's a little challenging, it doesn't
And-
cumulative
Yeah.
there,
And
but
then there's
it makes some sense, okay, 546.
There is a position that I gave you, actually,
Thanks.
data that I'm really worried about cutting. It was a grant-funded guidance counselor at the elementary school. I've been several meetings lately where she's been working heavily with students that are dysregulated. I'm really worried about reducing that position. I know it was grant-funded and it was gonna go away after 3 years, but the volume of work, as you can see on the data sheet that she provided, so that I can get that to our Alliance folks, because she was, not Alliance, mental health grant, you have to provide data, and she put this nice sheet together. But she's doing a lot of work, so I'm a little worried about that position going away. So, I just put that out there for discussion.
Okay.
And I could have totaled this wrong, but I don't think that total adds up all of this one thing, just so we know.
546.
Yeah.
Well, it's
I subtracted the one thing that
Was
asked.
previously suggested,
And
yep.
then I also subtracted, because this is a removal as well, because it was a budget restoration.
Right.
And it doesn't.
Okay.
I did quick math, but it didn't seem to add up right, but it's close.
I don't know, you might have transposed some
Yeah.
numbers.
That's
It's because I asked you to add the risk in between the cells. That's the whole-
Okay.
So just move to Google Sheets.
All right.
One more.
Danielle?
So what did we decide on for July, guys?
So we're
What are we doing
gonna,
there?
pending the outcome of the referendum,
Is that what we're gonna do?
yep, we will book a budget workshop.
Okay.
Perfect.
And policy, I think, should
It'll
consider
probably be the
meeting
week
in July.
of.
instead of
Yes, we
August.
can
Yeah.
do that. We'll talk about
24th,
the
right?
committee.
No, I will not be
So
here.
can we pick, like, can we say it's gonna be, can we pick a date just so
Do
like?
you wanna pick it? Do you?
An in case date, don't you
In
think?
case
Because
date?
otherwise, if
Well,
if
either-
it passes, then
I-
people aren't gonna have it blocked on their calendar, and this is summer, and people
Right,
won't be
well, my
available.
concern is if it doesn't pass, we're still gonna have to make adjustments anyway.
Right, so we have to.
Right, I'm
wait.
only saying if it passes.
Okay.
Hold it for if it passes,
Hold-
so that we can
okay.
meet and do what we need for Bill, and it's already on our calendar. If it doesn't pass, cancel it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
6/13.
So at least it's locked in?
Yeah,
Well,
so I'm only available 7:15 to 7:24 that month.
Okay.
20th it is.
Is this for
7:15 to 7:24.
Well, it has to,
So
I'm
So
not
7/20 it
available.
is.
When are you not available?
That-
Ken?
that's
I'm
when
not
I'm here.
available the week of,
Yeah.
The 18th.
right,
The 18th to that last.
so the 20th.
Isn't it usually the 13th?
I'm not available
July
that whole
meeting?
week.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
it.
but
So-
when
I
does
have it
to
on
be
the
the
13th, it's already
16th,
blocked out like our
17th.
regular July meeting if we were to have one.
But Melinda's not available.
No,
Right.
she didn't say 13, did you?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
won't be-
she's
Oh, I thought
gone
you said
until the
15. I thought you
15th.
said 15.
She comes back on the
15 to
15th.
24
And
she's
she's here to the
available.
24th.
I heard the
All right,
opposite.
The 16th then.
The 15th, the 16th, or the 17th?
Sooner the better.
I have
for-
availability for the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th.
I have
16th.
16 and 17.
Yep, I'm good too.
I have 15 and 16, so not the Friday.
16.
All right, so
16.
we're all
I
available.
motion that we,
Justin, are you good on the 16th?
what's your committee?
He's double checking. You, yes,
Well, it's technically not. If it's gonna be a workshop, it's not my committee. It's
that's true.
board chair owns it.
But still.
Yeah, 16.
Yeah,
I'll
16th?
leave.
16.
All right, so go, Matt.
At 7?
All right,
Or
7/16.
Hold on, Mr. Steglitz.
July 16th is the third Thursday, which is
Eve.
typically.
Board of Finance.
Thursday, okay.
That's why we're all free.
That's why we're free.
Can we do the 20th?
All right, can you
I
do the
can't do the
15th?
You can, okay.
I could do the 15th.
I'm here.
Is that building committee?
No, building committee would be the 8th.
Okay.
They're the second Wednesday. They compete with PTO.
I can make.
So
I
we're
have
gonna
PTO
call it a
too, but we
budget
can make a
workshop?
movement.
Yeah.
It's just us meeting.
Yeah, it was just the 4 of us meeting for the
Okay.
first time.
We can move it.
Yeah.
So the 15th works?
15.
15th works for
All
me.
right, Matt.
Make it so. I make a motion that, what time, 6:30?
What time?
Budget.
Earlier the better?
Yeah.
Well, 6 is always a good time.
6 is a great
6
time.
Let's start at 6.
I motion that we have a budget workshop meeting on July 15th at 6 PM.
I'm
Second.
second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
No, that one passed. It is. what
You're gonna send that out, Danielle?
it is. Okay. All right, so, moving on. So then we won't have a regular Board of Ed meeting
In July.
in July?
No,
Okay. Do we need a motion for that?
no.
No, okay. All right, Board of Ed member vacancy. So Amanda provided us her resignation, which you guys accepted last month. Under Connecticut General Statutes 10-219, the remaining board members appoint a successor to fill the seat until the next regular town election, which would be November 2027. So we're going to put it out that if there's anybody who is interested in sitting in that seat, to please contact Superintendent Smith or myself, and then we will schedule a special meeting to hold interviews to fill that seat. Danielle?
When is she going through?
Her resignation and letter stated her term would
get there.
end August 1st.
Okay, so she has June and July and then.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. All right, moving on. Thank you letter from the collaborative board to state legislature. Danielle, sorry. It's a really long weekend. It provided you a copy of the letter that was written by Steve Ryu. We decided at the collaborative board meeting at the end of, was it last month? Yes. Yes.
June, actually.
Was it in June?
I was May 30th.
Yeah, close enough. That we would write a thank you letter to the state legislature. That's there for your reading. I am asking for a motion to approve me to assign it.
Is that this?
That's that.
I think the general gist was that we always ask for things, but we never say thank you. And so the board chairs were really adamant about saying thank you.
I'll motion that you may sign this, Madam Chair.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. All right, correspondence. There's a thank you card from Carriage Square. Residents attended the senior luncheon. You all should have a copy of that.
Yep.
Okay. And then citizens' comments, we'll start on Zoom. Going once. Going twice. 3 times. All right. Any citizens' comments in the room? Going once. Going twice. All right. Board of Education comments. Going around the table. Danielle?
Get out and vote.
Thank you.
Really. Everybody, get out to vote.
All right.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
Adjourned.
Okay.
8:19. Absolutely.
Pretty good.